Good evening, everyone. Just back from work. It's now Wednesday night. I'm going to post this tonight and see how we go. I've had a number of apologies from people who can't do the exercises this week. Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. I'm sure they'll come in eventually. Leave them alone and they will come home, wagging their tails behind them. So I'm replying to one email this week, but top class, by the way, absolutely top class Tyneside. Yeah, I have had a few apologies. Liverpool have kind of said that things are busy and the way things are when you go on a course. As soon as you put your name down for a course, disasters start happening, don't they? All over the place, It's the same every course I ever went on was the same, so don't worry too much about it. But I will be on to you. I will be on to you. You don't do the exercises, that would be nagging. But you know the way these things go. I get a lot of money for this nagging, and I'm good at it. Guernsey, I think you're on strike. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking you don't want to tell me, but basically you're picketing Edgehill University. So where are we? The other thing is, I also noticed that it's only Liverpool who's responded to my suggestion that we start a Facebook group. Now, I haven't posted anything on the Facebook group so far, although I've got to tell you, I run a different group, a heart failure group, and people are joining up for that pretty fast now. And here's the thing, Codney Care. Here is the thing. I'd be really interested to know, in the Facebook section, where you think that things are going with Codney Care. Because what I hear, everybody I know who works in the Codney Care, we've talked about this before in these replies. The writing's on the wall, really, isn't it? I'm not going to do another course. Once this one is finished and it's ended and it needs to be revalidated, I am not going to present to the profession another course described as coronary care, because I'm not sure whether in 5 years' time there will be coronary care units. I'm not sure. You might be better off offering a course on either general cardiac care, which is always going to be with us, let's face it, or make it more specific, taking care of people with PCI. But the Facebook is there for this sort of thing. I've got about 3 members at the moment, including myself. But I think it'd be a brilliant idea. I do, because then we would get a perspective from all over the country of what's going on. I've already put some photographs up, let's say, of the university in the heart failure module, by the way, and also what the Faculty of Health looks like. So I don't know. Now then, let's get down to business. The only one I got this week was from Tyneside. Excellent work, Tyneside, yet again. Mind you, you've got the time now, haven't you, putting your feet up, a lady of leisure. You can be sitting there, having your bits of fruit and looking after your 5 bits of fruit and veg all day and watching Jeremy Kyle. I think I'll reply to those exercises now. That said, top class set of replies. Yes, the distinction that you drew between complete heart block. We've got a consultant, by the way, who goes balmy if you call it heart block. Unless you use the expression AV dissociation, he doesn't listen to what you're saying. Actually, I can see his point. Heart block, it's a bit slangy, isn't it? But anyway, you got the distinction between complete AV dissociation and trifascicular block. Trifascicular block, again, characterised by left axis deviation. I believe I put my video up about left axis deviation, all that stuff. I believe I put it up, but let me know if I'm wrong, and I'll put it up again. It's just a 3-minute film about how to do axis deviation without really thinking about it. Left axis deviation, yes. Right bundle branch block, yes. And first degree heart block, absolutely. Well done, Tyneside. Got that bang on, and very well expressed too, by the way. Intracardiac shunt, no. I wasn't after intercardiac shunts, and what happens with turtles and crocodiles I'm less than 100% interested in. But fascinating all the same, though, isn't it? This is how they managed to. This is how they managed to survive underwater when they're land-based animals. Ooh, didn't know that. It's intracardiac shunt that I'm interested in, and you led me off in the right direction there, but a little bit of you expressed a little bit of uncertainty. Let me put it this way to you. A shunt is, as you point out, any unnatural meeting up of the venous and the arterial system. And again, as you rightly pointed out, people have shunts when they've got fistulas for renal dialysis. Also, the anaesthetists talk about shunt in intensive care, where blood enters the lungs as venous blood and exits the lungs as venous blood because there's no gas exchange taking place. Those areas of the lung where that's taking place are described as pulmonary shunting, and the anaesthetists over in the intensive care unit have got equations and everything to calculate the amount of shunt. What I'm talking about here, intracardiac shunting, is the situation where, you know, and I'm sure you've all seen this, is where a patient has had an MI. They've got a nice mushy bruised bit of the intraventricular septum, and they're getting ready for discharge because it's now 5 or 6 days post-event. The bruised and damaged portion of the intraventricular septum, scar tissue is being laid down and the bruise is being taken away, and at 5 or 6 days the mushy bit is probably at its weakest, and the poor person gets chest pain, gets gross pulmonary edema, blood pressure goes to 0, and they die. And what gets discovered is that a hole is blown between the left ventricle and the right ventricle, and blood is leaked through. All sorts and other reasons for this can happen, by the way. You know, Swan-Ganz catheterization, for instance, although you don't see it much, it was one of the recognised complications of that by putting a catheter inside someone's heart, you could push your way through the intraventricular septum. Incidentally, on this subject, intraventricular shunting, this was the first time that any student of mine ever got published. Sue Oliver described a case where a person got to the cardiothoracic centre very quickly and survived this ventricular septal defect, this VSD. And other types of VSD, of course, other types of shunt take place in the atrium and the ventricles, where often congenital in origin. But that's dealt with shunting. Cardiogenic shock, great story, Tyneside, top class story, and really underscores, doesn't it, an important message. You know, don't take things literally. You know, if the person's got a drink problem and they are a regular attender, don't write them off every time that you see them, because that will be the time when when things go very badly indeed. And you know, you mentioned the fact that some doctors recognise this person, they wear a bruiser, and they just put them to the bottom of the queue because, you know, they are what they call in A&E rubbish, don't they? That's not me saying that. You know, what you having today? Rubbish. And, you know, it often seems to me that the people who make those sorts of mistakes are the last people to learn from them. You know, they don't feel guilty about that sort of stuff, and they go on to the next patient, and then they start saying the same thing about another poor person. Whereas you would think that you'd only make that mistake ever once in your life and it'd put you off. But the number of times as a staff nurse I'd see someone saying, oh yeah, see so-and-so's putting it all on today. The person dies and the following patient comes in, oh yeah, he's right Oscar, he wants an Oscar, that fella, for the performance he's putting up. So, thank you Tyneside. Hope you're enjoying your maternity leave. Just proving here that I read all your emails. And keep on, because you're doing sterling work. The rest of you, get your fingers out. Good night, everybody. See you next week. Bye now.